guys, we're starting my stream in a second. Thank you for watching, much appreciated. This will be a kinda short stream, because I woke up very late today after yesterday's long grind for green items on my soldier before I can make my soldier build. I was trying to get a full set. I did get a full set, but not the one I needed. I still needed like 2 more items to complete the set for the build I uploaded today. The Solon set. I did get full meteoric set, so I will make a build video for that as my next soldier build. Now we will try and farm some items for the dwarf while I'm streaming, and maybe in 2 hours when it gets kinda too late I can stop streaming, but I'll continue farming. Hopefully I might get things for either of the builds I have in mind for this class. I kinda want to either get Grimnir or the last song as gear drops, green gear drops. Of course the rage set is also very powerful and strong, but I wanna try and avoid playing with that set for now. I've been having some fun with this last song build that I made up pretty quickly the other day. So now maybe I should just sell whatever I don't need. I'm gonna try and get a wood quality build going on. So is there a last song item with more wood quality for me? This thing here. This thing's quite nice. This thing probably I should sell. Although there is some cooldown reduction here that might be useful. The specific cleaver build really needs to be reworked from me, but maybe not yet, not now. I'll try farming without that extra wood quality, and if needed I'll rework. Oh, this is nice, this is a definite upgrade. Although I'm losing HP with this, which this build probably can afford. How much is my wood quality right now? 273.2 with the Lucky Charm. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4 items with wood quality. Might be a fuse. Let's see if this cooldown goes any lower than like 10 seconds. No, just 12 seconds, and this goes to 9 from... well, it's still 9 the other way around. So here I'm losing like just 1 second on the cooldown. Maybe it's not worth it yet. Later on, if I get more cooldown reduction, it will be worth it to replace. Okay, let's quickly equip my cleaver and try and do some... maybe let's try with Chaos 2 or 3 first. I think Chaos 3 should be fine. I'm wondering if I should tone down a bit on the HP side and just do some more damage oriented skills. Yeah, let's lose some of the HP nodes. I'm just gonna try and push this build, see how far I can take removing some of the HP from the build. So this way I have 127,000. But my cooldowns should have improved now. Okay, this is back to 3 seconds, this is back to 9 seconds. If I get this extra 2%, any changes? If I get this back to 2 seconds, it will be amazing. So now I want to check with the helmet with extra cooldown reduction how much the cooldowns of those specific skills go down. This one goes back to 8 seconds. What about my heroic skill? Where was my god skill that I was using? Was I using this? I think I was, yeah. Although this would go very well with this build. So if I can get the second version, where is it located? Oh, it's all the way there. Not where I wanted to go with the build. Really far away from where I wanted to end up with this build. All those notes are just armor. I don't want to stack armor. So I'm not gonna go that way. Let's go back for some damage. So those are 8% HP, followed by another 10. So I'm losing 18% HP if I don't get those 6 points, but then I can get some damage from those. So that 25% crit, then I have 12 points left. I want to bump up the damage a bit, see if I can survive with that much HP with this build. Without having to go all the way for extra HP. Oh, this is perfect. Death Wish. This is kind of what I wanted to try for the build. This is exactly what I wanted to try for this build. But I still wanna go all the way to some of those notes here. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 notes. And I can even get Spite Smite if I decide to. But yeah, this crit damage would be nice. Another alternative would be going up there. So this is the energy route. If I want to have a big energy pool, this will be nice. But currently, as you see, I'm not using energy much. There's just Avenging Charge that's used for energy. So now the question is, should we grab some HP? Or should we go full on investing into the damage tree? And do I need those 5% really that much? Actually it's 9%, 25 and those two, and those two. So 29%, and maybe I can settle for this one and not use Ancestor's Gift 3. Then I can try and grab something else. I'll play around with the build as I go. I'll keep changing it. For now I'm gonna go and grab that damage node here. And maybe grab that, let's see, something good for 1 point. Something that's not 2 HP. 4% damage reduction, not so bad, but maybe let's grab Spikes. And now I want to modify some of the passives I'm using. I'm using kind of bleeding oriented passives. And I'd say Ancestor's Gift. I probably don't need that bonus fire damage, it's not much. 12,000, so let's tone this down. Let's add Ancestor's Gift 1, and now we have 15 points to work with. I can probably remove... Let's try removing the Lucky Charm first. Even though I will be farming, I wanna try out some new skills. So, if I remove the HP as well, I might turn into too much of a squishy target, but I wanna try out how the Spite's Might would work with this build. For now, let's try Spite's Might 1. Okay, that's it. I think I can settle for what I'm seeing now. I can settle for this. Let's try and play now. Sorry for this, but I wanted to find a more optimal version for this build, since it's a weird set. It's not everyone's set choice, and I wanna try and find a build. I never played with this set before. I've tried the other two sets. I played with this one like yesterday, just quickly at the end of my stream. I think just to test it. Okay, this would be interesting. Enemies exploding. So yesterday I had this build full on HP mode. I managed to get that build all the way to 191,000 HP. Now I wanna test having it a bit more squishy, see how it will go. So the damage is kind of bad the way it is now. I think it should be better. I'll figure out a way to make it better. But yeah, Cleaver doesn't seem like it got boosted pretty much. Probably I just need more gear. Also, I have to get better playing the build. I'm sure the build could be easier to play once someone gets used to it. But yeah, I'm just seeing like 1 mil crits. Oh, and actually, do I have blessings? I have 0 blessings. Yeah, that's why the build isn't as strong as it could. I can try and bless some of my gear, but for now let's try and get better gear. Better red ones. Once we get better reds, I'll give them to my mage. And I'll bless them. For crit chance and crit damage. Mostly for crit damage. I think my crit chance is fine as it is at the moment. So I'm gonna try and keep my crit chance above 45. I'm liking that number pretty much on all my builds. And then the crit damage could jump up exponentially. It could go all the way to 450 or so crit damage, which would mean the crits we are seeing now are pretty much gonna get doubled. So So yeah, the build will be fine once I just bless my gear. I should learn to use my invulnerability more often. Once I do that, I should be. Did I get the elite? I think I did. There's one though, and there's a healer somewhere over there.
What chaos leave? L.
Oh, this is just level 3. I'm farming on level 3 at max difficulty. As you see, I'm trying to keep the wood quality above 3000 something. And as you see, this build is not geared up properly. It's just red gear, mostly unblessed. So I just have those 2 blessed with crit chance and those 2 blessed with crit chance for 10 crit chance.
Even if you had all greens, Chaos 7 is unplayable. The devs are handicap it seems.
I think Chaos 7 was meant for group play. That's how they meant it. I did try with almost full green set, like just 2 items were missing on my soldier, and I can kill the monsters, but the bosses have too much HP and they're kind of almost impossible to kill. But Chaos 7 is doable, so they probably meant Chaos 7 as group content, and I think that's not the way you should do it. I think they should make Chaos 7 soloable, and if they want to make the group content harder, just to make it scale. The more the players, the harder it should get. And maybe get 50% wood quality increase per player, and something like 5-10% monster HP per player. Or even if it's 2% monster HP per player, with 4 players you have 8% more HP for the monsters, 8% more armor, something like that. They can figure out a way to balance it if they just consider doing something similar. Path of Exile is a good example of how they're doing things.
Find a group. Sometimes I join AG aim at 50, and the guy is in chapter 2 level 27, Lame, sad face.
Exactly, that's why I just play solo. I only do solo play. That way, even if I don't do Chaos 7, I'm okay. That's just extra 300% wood quality. I could live without playing on Chaos 7. I mean, I know some people would wanna do it just for bragging rights, just to know that they've accomplished Chaos 7, but the way I see the game now, I just shouldn't bother about it until the devs do something about Chaos 7, making it scale up for group and making it slightly easier. So do you have full green gear? Cause if you do, that's quite lucky. I spent like 16 hours yesterday grinding on my soldier, with just a few breaks for food. And I did get full set for the meteoric set, but I couldn't get full set. I'm still missing the chest and the gloves for the what's it called, for the Solan set, for which I uploaded a build video today. So yeah, it will take a while gearing up, but once you farm Chaos 3, Chaos 2, maybe always can start with Chaos 2 if you're a fresh player, then move on to Chaos 3 eventually once you gear up with good red items from the new expansion, from the new, not expansion but patch. You can then move on to Chaos 4. By the end I was almost speedrunning Chaos 5, and I still preferred farming Chaos 4 due to the speed it takes to kill the bosses on Chaos 5. And even some elites, I'm skipping some of the elites when I'm speed farming for greens. I usually just go for the bosses. I do the easy elites, the ones with the... You might be lucky and get 2 green items from a chest.
I'm playing Path of Exile until they patch this game a lot more, maybe a few months, but I bet they will stop patching it from the poor reception.
Probably they will, we'll see. Hopefully they would try to figure out a way to keep the community happy before it's too late. They did start very badly, but with this patch they did kind of nudge towards the right direction, but there's still a lot of things that I don't like and I think could improve. But the main thing would be for them to try and please the most amount of people. Of course, they won't be able to please everyone, but there's a balance in pleasing as many of your players and not ruining the game. Many other games have done it, so probably this game, if they try to think a bit more about what the community, what the player base kind of wants in those kind of games, would be nice. I am happy with the drop rates as it is now. I was expecting it will be worse, but the drop rates seem okay. And the balancing in between the different sets in some characters kinda shifted in a good way. Uh, like per se on the soldier, I believe now not everyone would be using Skaven and people would start experimenting with other sets. And this is quite nice. Okay, did I get anything good with wood quality? Last song, 25 wood quality. Just some more counter attack damage. I don't think I need. So yeah, I'm trying to farm better items with wood quality. Once I have like full set with wood quality, I'll do some blessings on the gear. I can get what is it? Six times 400, 6 times 40% crit damage. So 240 more crit damage. Oh, actually, that's more than
Add
200.
me if you want. I'm a US player though. Steam is Ray's Ray email, tableclown at.
I can check that out later for sure. I'll see if I can add you. Thanks for the offer. Now let me see. Let's keep doing Grunt Relic Hunts on Chaos 3. I think this is the perfect way to start with this. Just I'm gonna avoid Swanesh and I can probably do Cinch. Cinch is okay. But Swanesh, Act 3 I will avoid. Act 3 is kind of annoying. It's not that it's that difficult to do, but it's kind of the most annoying from all acts to farm, due to the abilities of some of the monsters. Act 4 is okay. Now those tornadoes can be a bit tricky to deal with. Sometimes they might walk you in between two tornadoes on a bridge without a way of moving away. So you're kind of standing in between the tornadoes, not being able to do anything. Now here there's a lot of enemies. I wanted to try this out.
Leveling seems strange. Same experience gain on very easy than on Chaos 5, so I just speed through very easy to level up.
Oh yeah, it's much easier on something like normal difficulty or things like that. I've done my fair share of speedrunning on some classes, like rushing the campaign, and all of those rushes were done in normal. I do tend to start on very hard, but then I just go back to normal because it's much better. My first run I kept playing on very hard. I was just toning it down for bosses. But yeah, the leveling is kind of something you just wanna get done with quickly and just move on to the end game. Yeah, I'm not gonna stand when there's like 5 elites on one spot. I'm gonna move a bit because they keep getting healed. The whole point is farming those relic chests anyways. The elites can drop green, but the chance of that happening is very low. I've gotten probably 3 green items for 16 hours yesterday from elites. The rest was from chests. Sometimes I would get back-to-back greens. One map I get a green, then the next one I would get a green. Then for like 15, 16, even 20 maps I wouldn't get a single green. So that's kind of how the RNG works. Sometimes, just one time it happened to me, but I got 2 green items from 1 relic chest at the end.
That's
And
why
another
they need
thing,
to add Paragon levels so killing monsters for experience feels worth it rather than skipping everything.
Probably, although I would rather they don't add unlimited. If they do something like Paragon levels, they shouldn't do unlimited. There should always be a limit to that, so it doesn't turn out like Diablo, where just people who have no life and play all day get more stats than everyone else. So if there is a reasonable limit to how many more you can get, it would be okay. You can probably grind them unlimited, but there should be a limit to the bonuses you get from them. But I personally am not a big fan of such systems, as they kind of introduce a constant improvement in the stats, and it kind of ends up being a balance of who plays the most instead of who can use their build the better. But this game doesn't have leaderboards yet, so even something like that wouldn't matter much, even if they introduce something like this. Oh shit, look at how close this guy was to dying. I should have used a bit more caution. I wanted to see if I can kind of face tank it. Yeah, I should probably kill the elites first. Still new to this build, I haven't played the cleave build before, but they did buff it, so I wanted to give it a try. I wanted to figure out a way to make cleave work for me. Okay, it's not so bad. There is a way to get it to work. And as I said, I can add 240% crit damage to that build from blessings alone. I'm just waiting to get better road items, something that I know I can play for the rest of my stream today and just use for farming, something with wood quality. Another thing that people may not know, if there's multiple chests around the final boss, I'll demonstrate something I found out yesterday. Once you open this chest, the wood quality drops. So before opening this chest, make sure you've opened everything else. Look at this, 3276. Now it will drop by 900. Did you see that? Exactly 900, and this is because I was doing a Grunt Relic Hunt. So if you're doing a medium Relic Hunt, it will drop by 600. If you're doing the first Relic Hunt, it will drop by 300. But as soon as you open the Relic chest, the bonus you get from the Relic Hunt is lost. So try to loot everything else before opening this chest. Like if there is a big chest with 4 horns, open that first. And those 2 chests I opened on the sides of this map, I always open them before that. They kind of made it so that it removes this bonus when you open the chest instead of when you leave the map. Not the best way to handle it, but I guess they probably would fix it. Now let me quickly sell. This doesn't seem like a big upgrade. A good HP, but losing some wood quality. So at the moment my main goal is getting better last song items. Of course better weapons too, but I will eventually at some time I would stop and rework the build in the god skills, because I'm trying to find the best possible god skills, and the best way to do it would be to just keep experimenting, keep trying out different combinations and testing them in Relic Hunt. I should probably start jumping more often. But yeah, the damage is very low at the moment and I would like to see it improved. But I don't want to waste my blessings on gear that I would replace in a few minutes or in an hour or so. So for now I'm kind of gonna just try and get at least couple better wood quality last song items. And yeah, I probably should skip some of those elites, but I'm trying to kill the ones with the hoods. So far, the 2 or 3 times I gotten green items from elites was from those with the hoods. Of course that's just RNG, but... So let me just check my damage. Here I can get all the way to like what? I think 1.5 mil probably with my... Oh, there's no crit hits. Okay, if there's no crit hits I'll just... Guys, if I can't do crits. That explains why it took so long to kill some of the previous enemies. Not being able to do crits is kind of a severe push below the belt. Because my builds, most of my builds I center around crit chance and crit damage. And this mod is kind of a... It's still doable, but it's kind of too slow to do. The no crit chance mode. And now you have more reasons to go for a crit damage build. After them buffing the crit damage you can get from one item from 20 to 40%, you kind of want to get all those blessing bonuses as crit damage and try to get as least crit chance from the blessings as you can and get your crit chance from other things like rings, weapons, offhands, amulets, and the passive, the extra 5% from the passive. That way you can focus on getting the crit damage, which was boosted doubled. The crit chance was kind of just what, 20% more. So from 2 you can get 2.5. From 1 you can get 1.2 per link. I mean from 5 to 0.6 per link. And from double link you can get 1.2 and 4 links 2.5. So it is much better to just focus on getting the blessings to be crit damage. Okay, I need to try and hit more enemies. I'm not sure what exactly got me here, whether it was the tornadoes or the boss or one of those elites. So maybe I can just kill the elites first, they don't respawn. I think this elite is pretty dangerous here. And he'll die quickly, even though I can't do crits now. So, kind of screwed. Look at how many there are. I think maybe this one with the staff also can't respawn. And he does one annoying spell. Ah, fuck. Okay, yeah, this guy with the staff is annoying. He probably won't be able to die. I might go on my mage after this and just bless my gear for some extra crit damage and avoid mods like no crit chances. Okay, the guy with the staff is dead. So now it's just the boss and his minions. Oh, come on, I was pressing my number 4 and number 3, nothing happened. Was I stunned? I didn't see anything about me getting stunned. But yeah, this was kind of annoying. I was just about to kill him and I wanted to get my vulnerability up. and nothing happened. I was pumping my number 3 and number 4 for invulnerability and extra healing.
Just another second, and I'll crush them all! Just another second, and I'll crush them all! What a sweet death!
Okay, now I can get him. So yeah, it's just about me getting the timing right. Some skills don't activate immediately, it seems, if I'm in the middle of an animation. Attacking with cleave, I kinda have to stop attacking with that before the other skill can activate. It's kind of different for the different classes how some of their mechanics work in regards to casting a skill while using another one at the same time. I can probably make this faster if I go on my fire build, on my Grimnir build, but I wanna be experimenting with this in the meantime. There is a way to make this build even more damage oriented if I lose that HP and maybe go for extra damage. But then we will be very squishy. So if I lose those 10% from here, and then I'm losing another, what, 4, 5, 6, 8, I mean 10. So that's 10% from those nodes and another 10 from this node if I were to scale down here. But then I can get 10% from those and another 4. So it's not so bad. Let's try and do this. I do believe this build needs a lot of HP to be able to do more wife stealing with cleave. Because that's 3% HP, so the more our HP, the more it restores. But I wanna just try it that way. So let's go all the way down there. And I've got 4 points damage, armor piercing, damage. If I were to go here, it's damage, bonus damage to champions. Some energy and this skill. This skill works well if you have a lot of HP. Or maybe if you have this one. But I think this works well if you've got a lot of HP, but I don't think I can get it to work without losing a lot of damage. So I can either get damage and armor piercing or damage and bonus damage to champions, or get some energy or some extra HP. I think the best thing to do is this and this for now. I'll keep playing around, losing some HP to see how it goes, to get more damage. So where was my god skill? Here. 15 points, and I had some passive god skills. So I was using Death Wish. I was using Spite Smite. Oh no. I can't use Spite Smite, but I can use Spite Smite 1 and it can still work in my build. Yeah, that's not bad. Extra 20% damage. This is a lot of fun for me, figuring out the build, trying to make to theory craft something that's okay. Now, should we try giving some gear to my mage for blessings before I lose my blessings from resurrections? This is nice 32 wood quality. But that means losing 6 crit chance and 4 HP, 4k HP. Another thing I've noticed, the amulet that heals you upon using God's Q heals the enemies. This is a serious bug, I really hope they fix it. Like this one, heals when God's Q is used. You can try it, use this, go next to an enemy that's like half HP. Use this Q and then see how the enemy would get healed immediately. Let's just put all my equipped items, except the ones that are blessed, and I'll give them to my mage. I'll bless them with the mage, and then I'll see how it works out for me. So it's everything but the rings and weapons, I'll remember that. This will really help me with making that faster, smoother farming process. So everything except rings and weapons should be something like that. Okay, that was it, the 6 things we need. Hopefully I have enough blessing fragments. If not, I'll just exchange some yellow ones to the NPC. Now starting off, let's go for the helmet. I have equal red and blue, so I'm gonna do something like this. 3 for 3. Or I can just do one item with using 4 blue, 2 reds, and the other one the other way around. If you don't have a level 50 mage, I strongly suggest leveling 1 up so you can get the maximum link blessing. I think the developers should just add this specific type of blessing to every character instead of limiting us. Having more freedom is much better. Otherwise you're kind of forced to level up a mage to 50 so we can do this for our items. I don't feel like it's good thing to force people into specific builds by limiting the way they can bless gear with a certain character. Giving them freedom is nice, people like experimenting, and people don't like things like that. Maybe some do, but the majority of my viewers agree that something like this is kind of just as if they were thinking, how could we make things more complicated, how can we fuck some people over. It's not that bad because you can still do it on a mage if you level up 1, but it's kind of like, I don't know, limiting. Thankfully I did have enough fragments without needing to exchange yellow ones into the other type. Okay, last item would be the amulet, and then we are good to go. There we have it, 240 crit damage more than what we had, and we had 267, so that's almost double the crits we would be seeing. Now of course I shouldn't forget to put them down. Six, okay, I think that should be it. Now the damage would be almost double, almost, like slightly less than double damage from what I was doing. So there we have it, 508% crit damage. 47.2 crit chance. Probably later on I can get that to 45 or 44 point something by removing crit chance from either one of the weapons or from one of the rings and getting extra 40% crit damage. The more crit chance I get from weapons, rings and amulets, the more crit damage I can afford to remove from the blessing. And yeah, removing crit chance from the blessings, getting more crit damage, it would be nice. Now let's go for another Grand Relic map. Oh, Nurgle. Poison clouds appear, okay, that seems fine, doable. But the RNG can be fun. You can end up getting 3 or 2 items of one specific thing as a green, and then not being able to get that one piece of that one set that you want. Even if you spend 16 hours non-stop grinding like me yesterday. I streamed for minutes and after that I just kept on playing. It was kind of past 2:30 AM, so I had to stop streaming because it's too late to keep talking in those hours. But I kept streaming, not streaming but playing all the way until like until noon. And then at like 2 PM I said, okay, I'm gonna stop farming. So 12 hours after I stopped my stream, I said I was gonna stop farming. Whatever I've got, I'm gonna make the build video with just 2 red items from the whole set. And I kinda slept after publishing the build video for a few hours until now. I probably won't do the same on Bragi though, because I kinda got an appointment to the dentist's office on Tuesday. So maybe when I make the build video for Bragi I won't have the full set farmed. I was planning on making Bragi my second one for build video that I'm making. But probably Bragi would be like the third guy. I might make a build video for the mage even without the full set. My Alessa seems to be doing okay even with red gear, with just 2 pieces green. So maybe I can make a build video for her as the second one from the series of builds. Okay, those healers are pretty decent when the monsters have 30% extra HP. Just gonna get some kills, some easy kills, so I can unlock the boss. And then I'm just gonna move to the boss. There we go. Unlocked. I get how he keeps bumping into enemies when he uses the chain and can't move forward.
I've lost the blood rush. No, I need more time.
Okay, time for some extra stacking of bleeding enemies and extra damage per bleeding enemy now. It's good that I got some enemies to follow me, that would help me get some extra damage. And I should have dodged, he was using his tentacle attack. It's pretty hard when you're playing the Wood Elf on this boss, because from those poison queen of, what's it called, Queen's Rat, from the Queen's Rat field on the ground, it's very hard to see those green things that he's casting, and you don't know where his attack is gonna come from. So I'm hoping they would probably make it so that the boss's attacks are always like a red color or something like that, when it's broadcasting from where the attack would come. Something that would contrast to the green of the poison build, and maybe something that would also contrast with the burning of mage builds and things like that. Just make it easier to see where the boss's attacks will come from in between our characters' AoEs. Okay, Lost Song Bracers. I'm gonna stick to what gear I'm wearing for now. Until something really good drops, then I would just try and bless them. Like, this is something really good, 25% wood quality, 3000 damage, but I'm losing what, 10,000 HP. So this will get my HP probably down by like 15,000 with all the HP upgrades. I wanna just test how much the difference would be. So yeah, like 14,000 down. For now I'm just gonna stick to that. Let's hope we get what's it called? Oh man, I might not be able to do many Grand Relic maps, cause the gold coins are getting low. I could try doing probably Chaos 2 and then farm some gold. Oh fuck, fuck, fuck. Look at what I've just done. My cleaver is gone. Can I play without cleaver? Maybe I should just leave the zone and re-equip my cleaver. This is another annoying thing I think they should get rid of. When you're swapping out items from the same set, you shouldn't lose your heroic skill. Because what happens is they're first counting as if you're unequipping the other item and then equipping the one, instead of just replacing, and that results in your heroic skills being removed from the skill tree, from the skill bar. Now I'll have to farm all the enemies for extra gold. Corn, perfect, just what I needed. Oh, now because I'm bleeding all the time, I'm constantly swelled. Not a good feeling, but... Oh fuck, I didn't even see what hit me. And that's some hard mode. Okay, why am I so slow? Is it the bleeding or is it something else that's slowing me? It seems like the bleeding is slowing me. It definitely would have been better if I was playing my Grimnir set. With my Grimnir set, farming would have been nice, but as I said, I want to try and figure out a way to make this build work, to make this set work. So now I sacrificed some HP for damage, and it's not paying out well. Where did this guy go? Come on, really? Maybe I got too used to playing my soldier with the 90% maximum block chance stacking. And now I'm just getting stomped all over the place. With this guy we would really benefit from that ring of shadow that gives you dodge chance. Because this guy is a close range fighter but he doesn't have block. I'm not sure I can even complete this map. Maybe I shouldn't go back to an easier difficulty until this build gets stronger.
I need to fight. Nothing can stop me.
Come on, I'm getting one shot everywhere. This is supposed to be one of the easier difficulties. Okay, I'm gonna go back down to another difficulty. Maybe I can go back to my other build, because now I'm farming and I don't care much for the build right now. So where's my Grimnir items? Okay, this should be fine. For the Grimnir build, it's easy. The Grimnir build kinda just does something like this. So HP wise, I will lose a lot of HP if I were to take both of those. How is my cooldown? This is already at 3 seconds, so maybe I shouldn't take that extra 2% there. Do I need that extra armor piercing for the cost of some cooldown reduction? Let's see. This is still 3 seconds, this is 8 seconds, not so bad. This one I wouldn't take though, cause my HP would get like too low now. So 2 points to decide where to put them. Another option would be getting those 8% champion damage reduction. It's not a bad choice. Something that we could do would be getting this cost reduction, but we don't need it. I think this is the best thing I can do at the moment, getting those 8% champion damage reduction. This is kind of how I figured out my Grimnir would work. Oh, what did I have there? Kind of forgot what skills I was using. So this was on my number 2. I was using Cleave. I was using the leaping skill. I was using this one, which I don't need now. So I'm not sure what I'm missing there. Last Bastion is here, the leaping skill is here. Oh, this is what was missing, Ancestor's Gift. Now those skills need to go. We can use Spite Smite 3 or 2, regardless whichever you pick, both are a good choice. And for the other skills that I was using, let's go for more damage and some HP here. So I have 21 skill points to decide where to spend. One option would be to go for that, the other would be to go for this. I think this is better because it gives us a bit of survivability. The enemies would deal less damage to us. This is not bad if we end up using axe throw often.
Hey man.
Hey Jude, nice to see you again, Kabuto Ninja. Welcome
Wish
back.
you a nice stream.
Thanks, much appreciated. It will be a short stream, so around an hour left, but still. So I'm trying to figure out which other skill to use here. Let's try, instead of using this, let's try using that and then getting some more damage to bleeding enemies.
What do you think about the new patch?
I
About
personally enjoy
invasions.
the changes introduced with the new patch. So it's a good addition. There are some things I don't like about the invasion. It kinda seems that the only reason for people to do the invasion would be to get those green rings. And besides that, I don't see much point in replaying, besides for bragging rights, just to say you've reached higher rank in the invasion. But you can still keep replaying it and farming those green rings, try to get better rolls. They are good rings. Maybe later on they would add some new stuff. They said they're planning on adding some special amulets, so maybe this will also be done from the invasion. So I'm not sure what to do. Now, stunning an enemy can inflict bleeding, but there aren't many non-bleeding oriented skills that we can get for damage.
Do they think about adding PvP?
I hope they aren't, but we'll see. I mean, a game like this will be impossible to balance for PvP. Not impossible, but let's say 90% impossible to balance such a game. It could be fun just like in Diablo 2 to get people's ears, but some builds would annihilate others.
Oh. See.
So what about the way I've built it now? Maybe this would work, maybe it wouldn't. I do have 9 extra points. Not sure where to put those. I'm using this for the fire damage. Yeah, I don't think I can spend my skill points in anything else besides those skills. I could get rid of this or this and get some extra damage, some extra passives. So for those 9 points, if I get another passive worth of 8 points, I'm gonna try playing like this without the wood charm. Let's see how it plays out. It should be a significant improvement from the other build. But the other build was just an experiment, and I think the other build works better when I stack up all the HP nodes. So I'll return later to it once I farm some more items for it. I'll go back to like 180,000 HP on the build, and I think it will be better off for the Last Song build to have more HP. Let's see now. Oh, again, can't perform crits? I should really start reading what the map modifiers are. When I get can't perform crits, I'm kind of stuck. Because all my build depends on his crits. Can I even reset my cooldowns without performing crits? I can, okay, that's good. Yeah, but all that crit damage that I'm building around is kind of lost here. Look at that crit damage. 584 crit damage. Okay, this isn't bad. Still though, those would have been dead by now, if I was able to crit them. Because my base crit damage, as you saw, is almost 600, and then I have this weapon for another 200. Then I have this that increases the damage after killing a champion. And I have Spite Smite, which gives me extra damage when they're on low HP. I'm assuming this build, once I hit full green set, or not full green but half green, would be able to do very good speed farming on Chaos 5. Okay, let's go for the boss now. Fuck.
Just another second and I'll crush them all. Nothing can stop you. Just another second and I'll crush them all. Nothing can stop you.
Should I get rid of the elite first? Maybe I should. Because this is one of the annoying elites. But look at the wall damage. I'm kind of annoyed because I keep getting this annoying mod without being able to land crit hits. Ah fuck, I was moving. I was using my, what's it called, avenging charge, and nothing happened. Seems like they end up stunning me exactly when I'm on low HP each time. Ah fuck, I didn't want to return there. I wanted to go here. It's a bit difficult to get this Q to move where you want it to. Come on, I'm gonna end up penniless. If I don't kill this guy, it will make the boss fight very hard. Because this guy can one-shot me, the boss can one-shot me only with one skill. But this guy has this annoying attack, the purple beam, that one-shots. Great, did another elite come? Oh, and it's the burning one. From. Yeah, I'm just gonna wait for the burning to end, because this guy burned me pretty heavily.
I need more time. Let's give them a little respite.
Thankfully he's not using the one-shot AoE, the blue wave, because that would have been hard to deal with. Now I don't want to see this act anymore. Hopefully I don't get that. It would have been nice to be able to sell the gear for gold, because currently I'm having issues with the gold, but not much issues with the fragments. Or sell fragments with for gold. Something so we can get gold for when we don't have much. It would be nice to be able to make that cash and keep doing grand relic runs. Because now if you want gold, you kinda have to kill every single enemy. Or at least like 60-70% of the enemies on the map to win back those 50,000, 30,000. What did we get? Swanish. Not the best one, but I'm kinda stuck to doing it because I don't have much money to buy another one. This character would definitely take a bit longer to gear up than the soldier. It just takes a while before it becomes good enough. Now let's see how far I can take the crits. Can I get 4 million crits now, or do I need more? 1 million. I think I can get them to 2, maybe even 3 million when I stack some bleeding enemies around me.
I need more time. What a sweet death. Just another second. I must crush them all. Right.
Those are so difficult because they deal shit tons of damage.
Just another second and I'll crush them all. No, need more time.
Okay, it's a bit bright here, isn't it? When I'm playing in the daytime and it's too bright on my screen, on my monitor, I kind of increase the brightness. But now I don't need that.
I need to fight. No, I need more time.
Are the cooldowns? Yeah, no wonder I'm getting so long cooldowns. They're increased now. Yeah, those maps keep giving me shitty mods that are a bit difficult to deal with my build. As if the game wants to counter my build with every map. So now instead of 3 seconds I have 7 seconds on this kill. And this one is all the way to 31 seconds. Another map I'll just have to rush the boss instead of fighting the enemy. So yeah, kind of annoying to do with long cooldowns, but not much can be done. I think it's giving you 150% more cooldown reduction. Like not cooldown reduction, but cooldown increase. So from 3 seconds to 7 seconds, seems it fits that bill. Ah fuck, just when I was about to use my ancestor's gift.
Just another second, and I'll crush them all! You'll never take me like that! Hit me! Just another second, and I'll crush them all! Nothing can stop you.
Okay, not so bad. At least we have that long range basic attack.
Let's give them a little respite. Nothing can stop you.
Hopefully those would be enough so I wouldn't have to go back and kill some more.
Let's give them a little respite.
Ah fuck.
I've lost the blood rush.
Oh, there's a big guy there. I'm gonna kinda better off to avoid this fight. Oh, there's a big guy here as well. Maybe it would be okay when there's no healer. And of course the healer showed up in the last fucking second. This is kind of very unlucky, but at least we got them.
Nothing can stop you. Just another second, and I'll crush them all. Let's give them a little respite.
Okay. Is that enough? Yeah.
Must return to the. Let's give them a little respite.
Okay, let's go back. Hopefully it will give me more Act 1 and Act 2 maps. What about this Victor's Tribute? Very low damage, but maybe that's within the high possible damage for the access. I'm not sure how far an access damage can go. Like on the other character on the soul, the weapon can go all the way to like 7,000 or something, 7,500 damage. I had another one, let's see if this is better. 4.6k, 51 crit damage. Yeah, this seems to be better. The cost reduction is the same almost. Cooldown reduction for armor piercing. I am kinda stuck in cooldown reduction. And sadly, I will no longer be able to see something like 14 cooldown reduction or 13 cooldown reduction on my weapons. But eventually all of those would have to go. And I will have to get used to playing with this amulet for cooldown reduction. For now, I'll just play with whatever I've got. But yeah, my weapons are pre-patch, so they're kind of weak. Now, since I needed some gold, let's start a few lesser relic maps. Then we can move back to Grunt once we have enough gold. Oh fuck, tell me I can do crits, okay.
I've lost the blood. I need more time. I need to fight.
Now this is much better. I can use my cooldowns the way they should be. I can do crits.
I've lost the blood. No, I need more time. I need to fight. Nothing can stop me.
Much better indeed. Let's see the big guy. How long do we need to kill this guy? Not too long. Perfect. Now this is what I'm talking about. This is how the build should look like when we don't have those annoying no crits or longer cooldowns. But I'm still not liking the damage numbers I'm seeing.
And I'll crush them all.
I'll have to figure out, maybe I can use the rage-based passive, something like this. Where was it? This one might be nice. More effective rage, meaning more bonuses, and there was something else that gives us more damage for rage, I think. Was this it? Maybe it could be a god skill. Anyways, I'll have to look it up later. I know there was a skill that was improving the rage, and so we can get more damage based on the rage. Oh, and there's the one-shot AoE. I did see it coming, but I thought I can tank it.
Just another second and I'll crush them all.
This kinda starts glowing on the top of his head. It starts glowing when he's about to cast that AoE. Like, it's glowing now, but he's casting a different one, so maybe there's a different glow. Now it's fully charged almost. Would that be it? Would he cast it now? Just trying to figure out. He's got that blue thing fully glowing now. Oh, he died, okay. This is a nice little combo, using the jump and your spacebar while mid-air. Pretty fun combo to do sometimes. So if you're having difficulties moving through some monsters with this skill, you can just use the leap, and while you're mid-air, do the jump to go above their heads. Now we can do a grand map. Again, kinda Swan-ish, but at least the cooldowns are not so bad now. Although Swan-ish and armor permanently reduced is not a good combo, but not much we can do about it.
I need to stop the respite. No, I need more time. Nothing can stop me.
Ideally for this build later on, maybe I can try using the god skills heal amulet, but when they fix it. For now it kinda keeps healing enemies, so I wanna avoid using it in my build before they get it fixed. Usually I do need it on my ranger, on my scout, and I do need it on my soldier, because I'm using 2 god skills on those characters. 2 god skills means like extra 2 HP potions when you're using that amulet. And for this guy I do need cooldown reduction as much as I can, so the amulet is the only way. This is just Chaos 3. I'm kinda trying to keep the wood quality around over 3000, 3.2k. And I'm not even using Lucky Charm. Maybe I can try using Lucky Charm for extra 100%. Because this build is currently with old gear. As you can see, my weapons are before the patch, so they have the extra cooldown reduction, but the damage on them is very low. I'm gonna try and get some green items, then move on to Chaos 4. But Chaos 3 is the best for farming. If you wanna farm green items, I suggest farming very fast speed runs in Chaos 3 until you can make very fast speed runs on Chaos 4. When you can speed run Chaos 4, that's nice. Even with almost full complete green gear, I don't think farming Chaos 5 is worth it. Like, I tried farming Chaos 5 when my soldier was doing 8-9 million damage, and it still took too long compared to Chaos 4 for the amount of items I was getting. The main point is just to be able to complete the map as fast as you can to get the relic chest. 95% of my green items came from either the final boss or from the relic chest. Some of my green items came from the small chests, some came from elites, but very small number of them. Just bailed out a bit to heal up and to get rid of the healers, of course.
You got some sick soldier then, lol.
Oh yeah, the soldier is very sick. The soldier is amazing. It took me 16 hours to farm all those items. 16 bloody hours farming yesterday. 4 of those hours I streamed. Like 4 hours and 20 minutes was my last stream. After that I kept playing for another 12 hours. And I still couldn't make that soldier fully geared for this set. I completely farmed the meteoric set, which is the second build I'm gonna be uploading for the soldier. But before the second soldier build, I wanna upload one build for each class. Maybe the next build I'll be uploading would be my archer build, my scout, the poison scout. I did try the trap build after the changes, and it does seem to be a bit better, especially when ambush specialist is working. But I do need green gear to make it as powerful before, as powerful as it was before on Chaos 5. Because builds that
Mind
used to be
showing
good
your
on
build
Chaos
for
5.
soldier? I have all 4 characters, but I have trouble farming some green.
I can show you the build. I also uploaded a build video on YouTube today for that build. But I can show you after this map, no problem. For the soldier, I'd say if you have full red gear, start from Chaos 2. If you can handle Chaos 3, farm Chaos 3. Grunt relic runs. Ideally, try to do Act 1 and Act 2. Avoid Act 3 and Act 4. Maybe Act 4 is fine. You can probably do Act 4 as well, but avoid this act that I'm doing at the moment. It's kind of very counter to the build of my soldier. But as I'm saying, my soldier has almost everything. It has 8 green items, 2 red items. Only my gloves and armor are red on my soldier, and even then they are very powerful for red items. So I'll quickly hop on the soldier just to show you the build. But keep in mind I did do a build video where I'm explaining in detail. So if I miss something now when I'm showing you the build, just you can watch the video later to check for all the things I said when I was recording. So Volen, Konrad Volen. This is what I've got. Let me quickly show you. So as you see, Solan's Fate set, we are stacking block chance, and we're getting cooldown reduction from the block chance, and we're using Justice of the Empire. We're also using Sigmar's Wrath to burn the enemies and get extra fire damage, but superior, not master, superior. Superior is better because it's wider. You can see it has 2 different spins, so even the enemies that are close are getting hit, and the enemies that are far. And if you can position a boss that way so both of those things can hit him, it will keep proccing. Another thing from the gear is Magnus's gift. If you can't get a good Magnus's gift, either other weapon would be best. Would be good. Like the best weapon for bosses is Grudge Settler. The best weapon for fighting multiple enemies is Magnus's gift. Of course, you would start with a red item. You just need the specific skill. You just need that extra 50% damage per enemy. This can stack up to 10 times, that's 500% extra damage. This can also stack up to 10 times, which is another 500% damage. So regardless of which one you pick of those two, you would be doing a lot of damage when there's multiple enemies around you. Thank you.
Smallfoot81, thank you for the follow and welcome to the Struck Club.
Thank you indeed for the follow and welcome to my channel. Much appreciated. As I said, multiple enemies. For this blade, you need to get hit a lot. We still need to get hit and to block when we're using this item, this set, but I try not to get hit too much. So Blade of Vengeance is a good choice. If you get a better roll on Blade of Vengeance, use it, but ideally you would be using a Grudge Settler for bosses. Just if you get a good Grudge Settler right before a boss fight, you can switch. It won't mess up with your skills like switching armor does. So you can use this while fighting elites and enemies and then switch to a Grudge Settler while fighting bosses. As you can see here, I'm not using HP on the gloves, but this is only because I have a lot of HP from other sources. This one is also not giving me HP. I'm kind of stacking wood quality. As you can see, my wood quality is 230%. If you're farming, try to get as much wood quality as you can, but if you are having trouble surviving, get more HP for your item. I got green version of this ring, so that's why I'm using it. Ideally, I would prefer maybe something like this, or something like, where was it? This one with the damage taken reduction. This one, as I said, is nice. What else was good? What did we have? I'd say just use whatever gives you a good crit chance. And from the blessings, if you have a level 50 mage, you can get 40 crit damage and 2.5 crit chance. Alternatively, you kinda have to go for flat HP or flat damage. Like you can have two links and two flat bonuses unlinked if you don't have a mage to bless the gear for you. So you would be seeing 1.2 crit chance instead of 2.5 per item and 20 crit damage instead of 40. Until you get a mage leveled up to 50. When you get a mage leveled up to 50, you can put this gear in the warehouse, take it with the mage, bless it. This ring is amazing. I think I haven't found a class that wouldn't benefit from this ring. You kind of have different explosion for each character. I can show you on the ranger later how different the explosion is. So when I'm doing anything with cooldown such as taunt, there's an explosion. This should trigger an explosion. I'm not sure why it's not getting triggered now. Maybe it's not every time, but it has a chance to trigger that explosion. Or maybe I have to use it on an enemy. And basically the build revolves around us stacking block chains from this, Sigmar's Blessing, and Banner of the Empire. The passive is this Indestructible. You have more damage depending on how much block chance you have. And keep in mind there was a nerf. Before I could get 118% block chance, now the limit is 90. I don't think we can get more than 90% block chance. So maybe it is a bit of an overkill for me stacking that many from skills and other sources, but it's good to have it. This one gives us block chance, damage taken and damage reduction depending on how many enemies we have nearby. With this build you would always have enemies nearby because you're using a close range skill. This gives us extra damage reduction and extra damage done to enemies nearby, so it goes well with the build. Here I'd suggest using the first rank. Here I would suggest using the second rank because it gives you longest duration. This one lasts for 12 seconds. This one also lasts for 12 seconds. But this one and this one have the exact same bonuses except the counter-attack damage, which you don't need for this set. So take this as level 1, take this as level 2, use this as level 3 because it gives you good block chance, extra damage and extra energy gain. You don't really need the energy except when moving with break through the ranks. And those are the passives, the god skills. Here you can get rid of that HP block damage, and you can either go 1, 2, 3, 4, or you can do something like 1, 2, 3, 4, but that's kind of pointless. You can get that damage reduction though, 1, 2, 3 here. And another thing you could get is, let's see, this is kind of counter attack, so you don't need this. I think this can go either way, like if you remove those block chance and health, you can probably get a better version of share rations, but which you don't need. But you can also get some extra damage reduction and extra block damage. The most important thing to remember is you need discrete damage. You need discrete damage, you don't need that cost reduction. You need this extra block damage, because we're stacking block damage. We're gonna get hit a lot, that's why we need a lot of block damage. And that's pretty much it for the passive tree. For the actives I was experimenting with apothecary. Here I'm actually using something like this. When I'm farming, this is how my setup looks like. You can either go with this or with this, whichever you prefer. But keep in mind this is much needed, that extra 5%. Just so I can show you the damage, I can go and do a map quick. Let's do something like Chaos 4, not Chaos 5. Although I can do Chaos 5, but it will probably take a while to finish. Okay, let's do Chaos 5, just so I can show you. Let's do a lesser one, so it would be less of a bother. The way you play this, you start with your number 2, number 4, you then just move around. You can use your taunt, you can keep spamming this. As you can see, I'm not even using my damage skill.
Help me a lot.
The good thing about this is your first skill, your Justice of the Empire, and then you can keep moving. You can keep moving around. Something that's very useful is break through the ranks final. So now that I have those extra 16 points, I would suggest if you go for something like this in the passives, if you don't take any other passives, if you just keep those collector skills here, those extra points, you can use 10 of those points to upgrade break through the ranks. Why? For extra damage reduction. Break through the ranks gives you 20% damage reduction and a bit more damage. So I can do something like this when I'm out of the town, it will be better. Another thing that is useful, as I said, is this skill for extra cooldown time. I was experimenting with this, so it's not a bad option. But yeah, this kind of high damage. In the Nurgle zone, I got 8 and 9 million damage. As you can see, we're resetting our cooldown based on how many enemies are attacking you. So you want more enemies to be attacking you. And since we are not doing many of the elites, you can just kill enemies as you go with the fire. With the fire and with the break through the ranks mastered. So if you get the best break through the ranks, you're gonna do a bit more damage to those enemies around you. Just look at them, just dying from my aura. The banner of course improves the block chance, improves the damage. And this is it, but of course to get this build to be this powerful, you need, as you see my gear is very good, you need good damage. Those gloves give me damage and crit damage, but no HP, so this is a sacrifice. This shield, ideally you wouldn't be using this shield, but maybe you could be using something like this one. Why I think this shield is good? This ability, did you see that? It's just doing like 1 million even more damage. I think I got it to do like 4 or 5 million damage when I stacked all my bonus. And this is just from using your spacebar, which slows and stuns enemies, so this can be used as a fewer. While this is in cooldown, you can use your spacebar skill for extra damage, if you don't want to keep moving around. So this seems like the best shield for the build, but Meteoric Iron is also not a bad one. It does help slow the enemies a bit, so it's also a good choice. But yeah, in between the skills, regardless of what shield you're using, you could use shield smash, but if you're not using the Pavis of Anger, it's probably not worth it. If that's how I'm pronouncing the name, I'm not sure I'm pronouncing the name of that shield properly. But you have to try and keep your number 2, Sigmar's Blessing, up all the time for that extra damage. You can try using the final Sigmar's Blessing. The final Sigmar's Blessing would give you a bit more damage, 10% more damage, and some more energy regen, which you don't need. Longer duration though. So with those 16 points that I've just freed up, I can probably use this. If I decide not to upgrade Break through the ranks, if I decide I don't need that extra damage reduction and a bit more damage. I got burned. I think I got burned by the flames from that NPC that is floating in the air. This is one of the most overpowered skills because when the enemy dies, there's a big pile of flames underneath you instead of underneath the enemy. And it deals a lot of damage and it's kind of hard to avoid unless you have invulnerability like Brag.
Yeah, that one is annoying.
Yeah, for sure it is. Of course, for the rings, ideally you would have a no ring. Here, instead of purple signet ring, I think the best ring that would go there would be a no ring. For the amulet, this isn't bad if you want some extra reduction to the cooldowns. But the best amulet for this build is Thrice Blessed Copper Medal. Do not use it now though. Don't use Thrice Blessed Copper Medal because it's broken and it heals the enemies. I can show you just in a moment. Let me quickly equip one of those. Let's equip this one. You can see now I'm gonna use my God skill. I'm gonna bail out a bit to heal. Then I'm gonna use my God skill to heal myself and look at the boss's HP. Did you see how much I healed him with just one usage of my God skill? So they kinda need to fix this glitch, cause it's not good using your God skills and healing the enemies instead of just healing yourself. And even if you're far from the enemy, he seems to get healed. So this was good to show you as an experiment. Now I have to get... So you can just run around, keep spamming your main here around in... The cooldown seems to be fast, so the meteor even if you're running around. And you can... and it could help you. Ah, fuck. I kind of couldn't move out of there. So as you can see, I'm not the best one at using the build. I'm not the best one at not dying. Someone else with this build would be able to probably twice the time I need, and without... Playing the build is the harder part for me, making the build easy but still kind of easier part. So on a boss fight, probably it would be better, as I said, to get something like Blade of Vengeance. Not Blade of Vengeance, Grit Settler. Just because I can get some block stacks from those AoEs on the ground. Even the damage over time skills like those tornadoes and whirling thingies on the ground, even then when you stand in those you're still getting some blocked hit. So it stacks well. It stacks well with getting some extra damage for the boss compared to Magnus's gift, which relies on enemies around the boss. So if the boss doesn't have many summons, you're better off going for Blade of Vengeance. Ideally with good roll. And the best thing is you can swap between weapons. Now I can swap to this shield and try implementing that extra shield smash in between my... Okay, that 7 million hit really helped finish him off. But this build on Chaos 4 or on Chaos 3 would just destroy everything and it will be very fast to farm. Even with just red gear, Chaos 3 should be more than okay. So if you're farming, this seems like a good choice. Doing Chaos 3 with something like this. So what was the Magnus' skill? Each attack inflicts sacred burning on enemies, so if you want to be inflicting the sacred burning, this shield really helps. So if you're using meteoric iron shield, this sacred aura attacks the enemies. It's not for much, it's just for a bit of damage, but it's enough to inflict the burning, the sacred burning for Magnus. So let me go back to the dwarf now. Although I do have just a few more minutes of streaming time left. Then I'll start farming off screen, because it's 2 AM and I kinda have to stop streaming around that time. Okay, let's quickly change characters again. I wanna do a few easy maps, so I can probably do Chaos 2 on the dwarf instead of Chaos 5 on this. Do you wanna see my mage or my scout? Before I stop streaming, I can quickly show you some builds for those as well. Now is your chance to tell me, guys.
What's your YouTube channel?
The info should be underneath my stream, but it's struck, yeah. Here I typed. So let's change to Chaos 2 now for this guy, just to do something faster than Chaos 3. I want to do more maps for the few more minutes left of my stream. So Grand Relic would be fine, that extra 900% would qualify.
Thank you.
No worries, much appreciated. I'm trying to grow my YouTube channel to partner, but it will take a while because it requires 1,000 subscriptions, and I don't want to get fake subscriptions. There are some websites where you get subscribe for subscribe, like it gives you a random channel you can subscribe to, then it gives you a subscribe to your channel from someone else. But that seems like the fake way, not the good way to grow your channel.
Items since yesterday struck carrot.
I did, man. I spent, as I said, 16 hours farming. So I ended up my stream in 2 a.m. I farmed all the way to 2 p.m. Then I stopped farming and I started creating the build video. And I was done with the build video around 5 in the afternoon, when I uploaded it and got some sleep afterwards. So it was a 16-hour non-stop gaming with just some pauses for food. It was worth it though. I farmed a full meteoric set and almost full what's it called, Solon. I did want to get the full Solon set, but yeah, I kinda got 3 times the green boots from the meteoric set, 2 times the breastplate from the meteoric set. I got, I think, 3 times the green gloves from the Skaven Killer set. Kind of very lucky. Sometimes I got 2 items from 1 chest.
I did some 5 to 6 hours of invasions and bosses, but you don't get anything from there.
Ah, fuck invasion and bosses, man. I'm not gonna be doing invasion and bosses until I have at least 5 green items on my build. And then I can easily do the Chaos 6 invasions. Well, not easily. Of course I'm dying a lot, but
Seems
I can still
like
complete.
I need some streamer luck.
Probably, yeah. I mean, I had some cases where I think I even saved a screenshot where I got 2 green items from 1 chest. I've also had 3 times when I would do a map and then the next one would drop me a green item. Then there would be like 10 or 15 maps without a green item to compensate for that. But it's nice being able to get 2 maps in a row giving you green items from the chest or the boss. The best thing to do is just farm whatever you can farm easy and fast without dying on the Grunt Relic run. Once you think you can move on up the ranks, do that. But the faster you farm, the faster you reach the relic chest, the better it is for you. Don't rely on elites. I think only 5% of my items were from elite. It was mostly the end boss, this guy, or whatever is in the room, or the relic. So you want to be killing them fast, you want to be able to get here fast. Oh, and another thing I already said to some of the viewers who joined earlier. Do not open the relic chest until you've looted everything else around the boss. It removes that 900% or 3 or 600% from the Relic Hunt. I will demonstrate it. Now look at that, 3007 wood quality. I will lose the 900 from the Grunt Relic Hunt as soon as I open the relic chest. 2107. So open every other chest around before opening this one. If you have seen some horned, like 4 horns, big horns chest, open that first. Sometimes I've gotten green items from those little chests around the... So keep that in mind. It can happen. Not often, but it can happen. So just open this last, just to be on the safe side. It's good to share that little bit of knowledge, because many people may not even notice this. Also, there is a chest that gives you extra 100% wood quality once you open it. It's not the little chest, it's not the big one with the horns, it's the medium chest. When you open it, I think, I'm not sure on this, but I think that the condition to get the blessings buff here on your buff bar is to open that chest. I think this one is it. No, it's not this one. In the Nurgle zone, it looks like a green chest, medium sized, with some eye ornament on it. I'm not sure for this map how it looks like, but it's not the final, the biggest chest, it's not the smallest one either. It could depend on spending time on the map, I could be mistaken, but each time I've gotten this buff it was right after opening a chest. And it was increasing my wood quality by 100% if I don't die. Then if I die I lose that buff. Maybe what's happening is once you complete the Q enemies, then you get the extra wood quality. Let's experiment and test it out. Let's see if you're gonna get that extra 100 wood quality once we kill all the enemies in the map. As you can see, it was 3007 on my last map, now it's 2907. So I did have that extra 100%. So maybe that's it, you have to kill all the enemies to finish that quest, and then you can... So if you have some chests around you, you could try and kill all the enemies before opening them. If you see the chest with the big horns, it's a good source of items as well. Finish the objective of killing all the enemies before opening that. I think it's 100. So look, now I don't have this, but I'll keep opening the chest regardless, because it's kind of too far to run back. Okay, I'm kind of... But yeah, I'm starting to believe the streamer's work really is a thing. Before I used to think it's bullshit, because I'm usually very bad at RNG. And I am really unlucky when enchanting, upgrading, or things like that. Or when farming, but sometimes it does happen, I guess. Maybe just confirmation bias, and when I start getting good wood, I kind of think it's because of... I did notice that a few times my game crashed right after not getting a single item in like 15-16 runs in a row. Then eventually my game crashed, and then as soon as I walked back, within 4 or 5 runs I got a green item. Not sure if that's a thing, but just putting it out there, so it might be known. So now we probably still need to kill some enemies to get that extra buff, extra wood buff. The good thing is you can't open the chest without killing all the enemies, so if you don't die right after killing all the enemies, you should be fine. Would those enemies be enough though? If they aren't, I'll have to return back and find... Okay, there were enough. Now the wood quality should have gone 100. Yeah. Okay, let me do a Chaos Tree run now for extra more wood. I haven't gotten a corn map yet, but I don't have much gold to keep rolling. I kind of wasted it earlier on the soldier. I also need to... Slowly and steadily getting some better items. I ideally want to get a good raw last fight. Last fight will go very well with Heartseek instead of the bloodthirsty. let's try Grand Relic Cinch. I really don't want to do Cinch, but I kinda have to. Let's go get that stuff there. Okay, so I'm already doing 3 mu hits. That's not so bad then. So once I upgrade my weapons and my gloves to gloves with damage and weapons with more base damage and maybe more armor piercing, I would probably be able to do 4 or 5 million with red gear. And with green gear I can probably get it all the way to 6, 7, if lucky maybe all the way to 9. Now after gearing up the soldier I kind of know how the gear boosts your overall DPS, depending on how many pieces you have. Okay, we've unlocked the boss, we can probably just rush towards the... Okay, I wanna kill this one. Those guys die easily and they're a good source of gear sometimes. The hooded enemies. If you see hooded enemies and you can kill them within a few seconds, it's worth stopping. Especially if you need reds, they have a good chance of dropping. Whereas those guys, the big guys, they kind of die slower, especially when there's healers or support classes of the enemies around. The floating guys also die pretty easily, but this extra burning is kind of an... Oh, something that you may not know, you can just jump like this on this map with Bragi. You can teleport with the mage, but with Bragi you can jump. It's the only class that can use this to his advantage with the hooks. Come on, I want to get that tight. There we go. Okay, boss time. So I'm gonna spam some flaming around the boss, just so I can get the enemies burning.
Mind showing skill tree for this guy?
For sure. Just a moment, let me quickly finish this. So the god skills I'm using at the moment look something like this. Get this cooldown reduction, get this HP. We need that extra damage here, but you can probably skip this note. You can skip this extra 10 damage for 5% HP. It doesn't seem to be worth it much. So maybe you can just leave this note. You can have some extra HP, especially before you gear up with better items. Do not take this as well because you need your HP. You can take this though. You can afford taking this armor piercing for the 5 cooldown reduction because you got that cooldown reduction. If you're having difficulties at keeping Strike of the Anvil cooldown to 3 seconds, not 1, it should be 3 seconds. Now I'm probably getting boosted by my rage or something. I'm not sure why it's 1 second now. Yeah, that's it, 3 seconds. That's my default when I have no rage. So if you can keep it to 3 seconds, then you can afford losing some cooldown reduction. Here, maybe yeah, you can not take this and then you can probably spend some points on something else. I need this damage reduction because I didn't find anything else to put the last 2 points. But if I get rid of this point, then maybe I can do 1, 2, 3 for energy. if you think you need more energy, or you can get rock hard. If you get rid of this and rid of this, you can get rock hard, or if you get rid of this and this, you can get unstoppable, but I don't think you need those skills. You can get extra 2% cooldown reduction here if you want it. What else could be good for you? I don't think there's much to say. Before I used to go all the way down here before the update for that extra crit hit damage. Maybe getting all the way here was good before, but now 50% crit hit damage, I decide instead of going for that 100%, I decided to spend those points here. And this gave me some 25, then another, what was it, another
So you stacking
25.
cooldown reduction on gear?
Yes, I am. Cooldown reduction on gear, and as you see, I've got that crit damage nodes here instead of investing this. This requires you to kill champions to get the crit damage, but here you get the flat crit damage now. Before it was just 10%, so it wasn't worth it much, and getting that 100% was worth 10 nodes. Now those 100% are just worth 4 crit damage nodes. I do have legacy items. This is a legacy item with 14% cooldown reduction. Eventually I will replace it with something like, what can I get? 9.6 cooldown reduction. Maybe on a green item you can get 10-11% cooldown reduction, which is not so bad. And you can get what more damage? You can get at least 2000 more damage probably if you're lucky. I think the axes can go all the way to 6000 damage. So it's not bad if I replace those with something better later on. Something with more crit damage, more crit chance, and cooldown reduction. You can also use this for extra cooldown reduction, it's pretty decent. Your rings can also give you cooldown reduction. Basically try to focus on crit chance and cooldown reduction from the bonuses, and from the blessings you need a mage. If you have a mage, it can give you 40 crit damage and 2.5 crit chance on an item from the blessing. If you don't have a mage, you can't get this on Bragi. So you may need to spend 5 hours leveling up a mage to level 50. Maybe 6 hours if you are taking it slow. My first playthrough on the mage took me around 10 hours to get to level 50, but with this guy and the other guys it took around 4, 5, 6 hours to get level 50. It's worth it investing that much time on leveling a mage just for the blessings. Unless the developers decide to change the blessing system so that you can link all items with maximum link. Okay, let me quickly grab the relic chest and I probably would end my stream now, because it's getting a bit late here. Thank you all for watching. I'll keep farming, but I kinda sadly can't keep streaming. If I keep streaming, it has to be silent. It has to be without me speaking. And that doesn't seem to work out well much.
Nice. Thank you.
Do you want to see anything else, like a mage, a ranger, a scout, or something like that? I probably would be uploading a mage or a scout build next, but I might as well just upload this build. But the thing is, I probably won't be able to get it good enough for Chaos 5 by tomorrow. So if I'm uploading a build video, I'll probably upload myself doing some Chaos 4 content or something like that, depending how many greens I get. So yeah, that's gonna be it for me. There's gonna be more tomorrow. I'm gonna upload a new build video tomorrow. Still deciding and debating for what
I am
class,
gonna
but
try
probably it would be
soldier and
for this
braggy.
guy. Nice. Do you guys want to see a specific class, specific armor set as a build video? Now is your chance to tell me, and if you do want to see a specific class, a specific set, I'll put that as a priority for my next build or my next few builds. Like if you want to see a mage fire build with the what's it called set, the Morvel set. I can do that. If you want to see a poison build, I can do that with the scout. If you want to see a summoner build, I can do that. It would be nice to tell me now, so I can just spend my next few hours farming on that build and getting items for that specific build. If you do, feel free to leave me a message. I'm gonna stop my build for now. Thanks everyone for watching, for the follows, YouTube subscriptions and everything. It helps a lot to me. Until next time, and keep it cool. Goodbye.